So today I want to talk about influences, good influences, bad influences, and everything kind of in between. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because I used to be a bad influence. I really I was a net negative on some people's I was friends with. I remember particularly in one case, I was friends with someone, and then after I transferred out of the college that they went to, their GPA shot up like a point, like a full point. It was like crazy. I didn't even, and here's why I'm saying that, because I am not above being, I am not above anything I'm about to say. Like, I mean, granted, I was 19, but like, there's no justification for like, I don't know if I was peer pressuring, but I just like to, I like to have fun. I like to drink. At the time, I liked to drink a lot, and I was like, all right, screw it. Like, let's just drink Thursday through Saturday. But, I'm not like that anymore, but I'm just saying, basically like a disclaimer. None of this is above, I'm not above any of this. But the thing about bad influences, you don't really realize that they're around you. It's really hard to realize that stuff because you're in it, because you care about this person, whether they're a family member, a relationship, or a platonic friend that you're pretty close with. You feel that way. They're your friend. They're that friend from third grade that you've known your entire life. They're the guy you played football with for 10 years. They could be any of these things. There's that girl you met that you didn't know you were going to really like, whatever it might be. Or I don't know, a cousin that you've been close to since you were 5 or 10 or 15, I don't know, whatever it may be. But your care and emotional kind of ties to this person can really blind you to the fact that they're kind of holding you back. And what I mean by this is there's plenty of little things that can happen when you have this type of person around you. And these are kind of signs, but if you don't think they fit, then whatever. I think that one of the key signs of a bad influence is that they don't want the best for you. They may love you, they may care about you a lot, but when push comes to shove, they're not willing to put your interests on par with theirs. They're like, you know what, if I want to get drunk, I'm going to like bitch at you so you can get drunk with me. If I want to miss work, like, why won't you miss work with me? I know you're trying to save money, but like, I want to go on vacation. Why are you not going to come with me? Like, you're not my friend anymore. Whatever it might be, they don't want the best for you. If you put it to the test of like, to like a litmus test of like, does this person really want me to live the life I've been trying to live? No. They make fun of you when you want to stop drinking. They make fun of you when you want to stop going out. They make fun of you, like, if you read a book, they're like, what are you reading? Like, or some things like that, whatever. And, it's not just limited to that. Sometimes you can trick yourself into thinking you're making progress with people like this. Let's say you're trying to stop, I don't know, let me just not use drinking. Let's say you're trying to lose weight, right? And you're trying to do this, and you keep having the same talk over and over and over and over and over and over again with your friend. Now, while you guys talk about it, like, one day I'll go to the gym, one day I want to start this diet, oh, I've been doing this, then that. If you're having that talk for like 2 years, then it can feel, even the 200th time you have the conversation, it feels like you're making progress. If you're like, you know what, next week I'm going to get in the gym, I'm going to go, it can feel like you're getting all the dopamine from you thinking you're making progress, but you're not doing anything. You're just talking. You're literally just talking. And I know that feels good, and I'm not saying I've never done that. I'm just saying the reason it feels good might be the same thing that's holding you back from like trying to make that progress. And it can easily turn into, I call this like a circle justification. You're in a group of friends, and you're all living a certain way, but none of you want to admit it. All of you are going to say like, oh, well, it's fine that you missed work because you got drunk. That's cool. That's pretty funny. Ha ha ha. Or it's fine that like you don't want to face any of the things that you're kind of dealing with, so you just smoke 2 times a day. Ah, that's so funny. Or I know you're coughing up a lung because you've been vaping since you were 15, but like, nah, it's cool, bro. Like, don't worry about it. Or whatever it may be. I'm not like, there's a million different things. Everyone's kind of just being like, no, you're good. You're good. Tell me I'm good. Tell me you're good. Like, everyone's telling each other they're good and we're making progress, when really you're all just agreeing to do all these things. It doesn't matter what anyone says, which is fine. I'm just saying, if you find yourself wanting to get out of that habit and you're still in the circle justification, that may not go well for you. You may be like, guys, I don't think I want to do that. They'll be like, why? Why? You're going to stop drinking? You're going to stop vaping? That's like your thing, bro. It's like, it turns quickly into something like that. And I really want to harp on this because it's so easy to fall into. Like, it's just, this is why I'm saying it. Not because I'm here and people like this are here. It's like literally, no. I am like right there. It's so hard. It's so easy to fall into this. Just everyone justifying everything everyone does. It's like, no, you're good, bro. No, you're fine, man. No, I know you've been blacking out the past 3 days. What, bro? It's Easter. You're not gonna black out? The hell? Like, it's just some crazy stuff like that. It's so easy, and also because you love your friends, whether it's platonically, whether it's a relationship, or whether it's family. Like, you love them, and So because you love them, you're not going to want to say something bad. You're not going to want to hurt them. You're not going to want to hurt their feelings, and they're not going to want to hurt your feelings. So it can just easily, like, everyone, like, you love them, and then you're doing this bad shit, and bad shit feels good. No one's good. No one started drinking because it like, you immediately, oh, when I drink, I have the worst time ever. No one has ever said that. I'm sorry, no one has ever said that. And I think that the more and more this happens, you can run into even more, and like, more of the bad. So I think that this is when you can really see it. I don't think they're truly happy for you when something good happens. Let's say you get the job, or you get the girl, or you get your goal. For 1 second, they're cool with you. They're like, good shit. And then the next thing you know, they're throwing a neg in. They're like, oh, well, like, that job's so far, isn't it? Or we're like, oh, she's not, like, they'll say something about the girl. Or they'll be like, yeah, your goal is good, but, like, you said you were going to do it 2 days ago, and, like, you just finished it now. Some crazy shit like that. And they won't, like, it's like, you're not going to celebrate. Friends should be celebrating your wins, And another one, and this one's a little darker, I think, for me at least. They're not that sad for you when things happen. Yeah, they'll give you like a, that sucks, man. But they won't be like, they'll try to one up it, kind of. They'll be like, oh, you think you've had a bad day? What, your girlfriend dumped you? I got a flat tires today, bro. I guess we're both having a rough day. And it's like, bro, like, I've been dating her for 5 years. And then the guy's like, yeah, but that's my favorite tire. And you're just, all right, it's just like, no matter what you say, it's kind of that. Whatever, switch it out. Maybe you didn't get into the school you wanted to get to, and they were just like, oh, like, my show got canceled, some stupid shit like that. Or my dad grounded me, or some shit, some crazy stuff, And again, it keeps getting darker the more I think you go into this, because I think that if you really care about somebody, if you truly, truly have this, like, I guess, cariño, for them, then it can hurt you to watch them do certain things. It can hurt you to watch them live a certain way, to self-destruct. It can literally hurt you. Like, if you see them get fired and then they won't stop drinking, or if they won't stop doing things that are legitimately bad for them. I'm not saying you're going to sit there and cry. I'm just saying it's sad. You can be sad to see someone hammered on a random day because they're so sad at the existence, the mere existence, and the monotony of every day. It can hurt, And I'm not saying that, like, you have to abandon everyone that's like this. I'm saying, like, you have to know when to cut the cord. For example, if you have an emotional debt, I call it, if someone's your partner, if someone's your family, or if you have, like, a deep friendship with this person, I do think it's a little bit your responsibility, at least 1 or 2 times, to try to talk them into, like, changing. But not, like, don't be an asshole about it. Be like, you know what, bro? Like, I really see more to you than this. Like, you're a smart guy. Like, you're a good-looking guy, bro. You're a smart guy. What are you doing, bro? You could easily be making 150 grand a year, chilling. You got it. You just got to put your mind to it. You'll be fine, bro. I'll be like, you got to be like, bro, imagine you got in shape. You started you worked as hard as you can. You started making as much money as possible. You start reading. You start watching. You start doing different things. You start maybe fighting a little bit. Do something. I was like, imagine that guy you'd be. Like, you have that in you, bro. Like, you're that guy. Just believe you're that guy for a bit. I believe you're that guy. I just need you to believe it with me. That's how I would approach it. And like some version of that for your partner too. But if you have that talk with that guy or the girl like 10 times over 5 months and then they won't stop, I think it's time to walk away. I think it's time to, you don't have to be mean. And here's the biggest part about this. I don't think you should judge them. I really don't. Because you don't know their circumstances. You don't know what made them like that. And you as close as you think you are with someone, you might not know something they've never told you that really fucked them up. And I'm not saying that like this is called like justification to stay. I'm just saying like I think this is justification to not judge them. Why? I'm not saying that because for that person's sake. I'm saying don't judge them because if you walk around with that after you walk away, if you're like, oh, I can't believe that guy, like he's my best friend and he's just throwing his shit away, like what a bitch, bro. If you think like that, then you're carrying that with you. You're carrying this like resentment towards somebody. And I think it's even worse if you're carrying it for someone romantically. If you're like, oh, like he's such a piece of shit, like he cheated or she like kept drinking, whatever it is. If you carry that into your next relationship or your next friendship or whatever, Now you have this like como this bitterness, you know, this like, oh, like I can't believe they're like this, everyone must be like this. No, 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 do not go down that route. That is a bad route to go down, you know. But you have to just be like, you know what, like they don't want this for themselves, and that's okay. That's all right. I can't make anyone change. It's not in my hand. It's not, you can't control everything. Sometimes in life you just lose. Sometimes in life you want something so bad but you just don't get it. You know, you can't make someone change. You have to accept. Sometimes you just have to accept the pieces on the chessboard and be like, oh, I guess that's it. That's life. All right. You know? And I think that once you do that, you can calmly look at them. Well, again, whether it's cousin, friend, uncle, brother, girlfriend, whatever, it's almost the same kind of, not the same words obviously, but the same principle of like, you know what, like I care for you. You know, this isn't a reflection of my care or genuine platonic or romantic love for you. This is a reflection of my, I think, decision and discipline to be able to walk away from something that I really care for, because it's not good for either of us. It's not good for me to sit here and semi-justify you by not kind of confronting you, or me watch you go down this road that I don't want to follow. And the more likely than not, you're going to pick up some habits for them. They're not likely to pick up habits from you. You're going to pick up habits for them. If you're waking up early every single day and you're with someone that drinks every single weekend, you're more likely to start drinking a little more than he or she is to start waking up every single day. I feel like that's not arguable. I don't think anyone will be like, no. I think there's a study actually that like if you put a bad worker in like a factory, it doesn't mean that everyone pulls him up. He actually pulls everyone down. There's like a study. Look it up. I'll look it up too. But the point is, you can't do that for them. You can't like it'll just end up, you'll just end up having to cut it off later in the future anyway. You know, so just, you know, try to help them a bit. If it doesn't work, then accept that it's time to walk away. You don't get a medal for staying and watching a family member, a friend, or a girlfriend, or a boyfriend, whatever you're into, to watch them self-destruct. You don't get a medal for that. But you're not a better person. In fact, I think it's the easier decision. I don't think anyone who's done this, anyone who's had a best friend, a girlfriend, or someone like that they've had to walk away from, it's not an easy decision. It's like, damn, bro, like I've known him for like 15 years. We can't hang out. We've hung out like every weekend for like, it's like 2010. Or when in the relationship case, you're like, bro, like I thought I was gonna make a life with this person. Like, what the hell? Like, you know? And your mind almost like it has to kind of configure itself, because you have to accept a new reality where that's not the case anymore. There's no more getting beers with, I can't think of a name. My dog's name is Jerry. There's no more getting beers with Jerry anymore. Jerry is a bad guy. No, I'm just kidding. No, but Jerry, like, you know, whoever Jerry is in your mind, don't get a beer with Jerry anymore. You have to remember that. But anyway, I'm just throwing some humor in there because it's kind of a dark topic, at least to me. And then if you see the spectrum of things, if you go on the other side of it, if you go to the good influences that I think that you can have in this life, they can save you from doing something wrong. If they call you out on something, you can trust that opinion. If you're like acting like you're a little too much, like your ego got a little too big, or you're being a little bit of like a little soft person now, I was going to say like something else, but if you're acting like, you know, whatever, you can trust that your friend is telling you from a genuine place of care, a genuine place of like, I want you to be better. I want us to be better. I want us to win as a friend group, as a relationship, as a family. I want us to do good. They set, and you don't have to wonder, like, because I think bad influences will legitimately hate on you. I've seen that. I've seen, like, not even with me, I've seen it with other people. I've seen people be like, this guy like makes a goal, or this girl makes a goal, and her friends are like, or their friends are just like, oh, well, I don't know about that. Well, how you put about that? And it's not like reasonable stuff. Like, it's literally like the worst case scenarios. And I'm like, bro, why are you even like relax? Like, how about some encouragement before you just absolutely come in with like the worst things you can say? And the difference from that to like a friend being like, hey, bro, like maybe you shouldn't miss work from drinking 3 nights a week. That's very different. Those are very different criticisms. And your good friends will tell you some shit like that. And not only that, they'll celebrate your wins. This is something that bad influences I don't think will do. Good influences will legitimately be happy from you. They won't say like, hey, like, congrats on that promotion, but sucks that it's long distance, sucks that, like, you know, it's going to take you years to get another promotion, whatever. They'll be like, hey, bro, we should go out and get some food on me, or like whatever, something like that. Or here's this thing, congrats, bro. I got you this. You got a new apartment, bro. I'm coming over. I'm giving you a bottle of liquor. I'm giving you a bottle of wine. Congrats, man. You deserve it. You deserve the world, brother. That's how they should. That's how they should talk to you. And they should force you to grow, even with their own wins. I have a friend who has a roofing company, and even though we're in completely different fields, I chose to go to school. He chose to start a company. Even though the wins might not mean anything to anybody else, to anyone outside the two of us, these wins might not mean anything. But to us, they meant we were making progress towards our goal. He would come at me and be like, "Today I made I made the website for my company, or I got an accountant, or I got another job, or I've been doing sales calls, whatever it may be." And then I'd come back, I'd be like, "Yeah, I just got my EMT certification. I just got my medical scribe job." Or a few months later, or I just got the scholarship, whatever it meant we were doing, we were happy for each other. It was like a competitive winning type of thing, but there was never any envy. There was never any envy. It was like, I'm so happy that you're doing that, bro. Like, you deserve it. You're doing so well, man. And like, that is more valuable than you think it is. And I have another friend who he just got into medical school for 2 years. For 2 years, we've been talking about how me and him don't have time anymore, how like we have to do it now. We have to get in this year. Like, it's do or die. And again, that pushed us to be like, maybe that was a little extreme. We're 23. But like, we were all like, hey, man, like then every time we would talk, it'd be like, he'd tell me how he got another research position, how he just got another 4.0, how he just got a new medical job to like put experience on his thing, to everything extracurricular he was doing to bolster his application, how he was like doing all these MCAT course preps. And then I'd come at him with my own wins, and it was just like we fed off each other, and it was good. It was never envy. When I got into PA school, like he was the first person to come over and bring some beer, and like we toasted or whatever. And then when he got into medical school, I made sure to get him the cigar he likes, and we smoked that night, and it was great. And I know we're in healthcare, but like you gotta give and take a little bit. And then if I'm gonna talk on something deeper, I guess now. I had a situation in the fall that hit very close to home. And I would say that both the friends I just mentioned were there for me more than anyone else. They were there for me. And I'm not saying they held me or something like that, but me talking to them about how the reality of life is like this, and a plan of action of what to do, and how I had to kind of keep my things together because there was other more important things to deal with at the time, really helped me. It helped me a lot more than any other friendship I've had in my life, because like, one, your boys got your back, and there's something to be said about that. But another thing is like, they remind you how strong you've been before, and so it's easier to be strong again. And there's like a lot of things you can, even some of the attributes they have. If you have good friends, you admire something about them. You admire some attribute they have. For me, I see in one friend, it's probably the discipline, and another one, it's emotional stability. And you try to emulate that a little bit. You're like, maybe I can be more disciplined. You know what? He gets up at 5 in the freezing cold to run. The hell? That guy's a lunatic. But then you're like, maybe I can get up at 7 and run with gloves on. Maybe I can push myself to do that. Or he doesn't let that bother him. He doesn't let people kind of making fun of him or people kind of coming at him bother him. I'm like, maybe I should be more like that. Maybe I should let kind of things roll off my back. And the best thing I think about these friends is like, you can actually disagree with them. There's no like, have you ever seen two friends like they'll butt heads with each other and then they're mad for like 2-3 weeks? And these are men. I've seen women do that for like 2-3 months, but men, that's like 2-3 weeks. They're like, oh no, man. Jerry said something crazy to me. Now I'm like, he called me out. Now I'm pissed. No, I've had my friends call me out, and like, it's like a 5-minute thing. We just agree to disagree. I'm like, well, I don't think that's true. I don't agree with that. And then that's it. And then we're cool again. And I don't know. I feel like these kind of friendships are so important, but no one's really saying it anymore. No one's like, yeah, like you're the sum of the 5 people, like all that bullshit. But like, no one's saying the nitty gritty of it, of like, you know what? Like, maybe if your friend is not calling you out for drinking all the time or doing some bad habit all the freaking time, maybe they don't want the best for you. Maybe if you tell them good news and they say something negative right off the bat, they barely even congratulate you. Maybe they're not the best people to have in your life. And again, none of this is from like, oh, like I'm here and everyone who's ever done anything I just said is here. It's literally like, no, it's so easy to get there that I'm probably here more than I want to be. I'm probably there more than I want to be. And I try not to be there, but it's a losing battle. But there's people that don't even try. They don't even care that they're doing it. They're like, yeah. I'm not that happy for him. I want him to get. He was more fun when he drank. He was more fun when he smoked a lot. He was more fun when he hung out with me every day, all day, instead of studying or instead of working extra or whatever. That's when he was more fun. I'm like, bro, like, that's a bad friend. I feel like that's not a crazy thing to say. That's a bad friend. Anyway, that's my rant of the week. Hoping to have some new guests on, trying to reach out to people. I'd love to have different conversations with, I think people from different fields would be great. I've been reaching out. Also, come to Fulgham's February 8th, 9 to midnight. That's Showerheads playing. Listen to their music. They're a good band. Anyway, peace.
It was intended for entertainment and satirical purposes only. The content shared in this video represents personal opinions and humors and is not meant to be taken as professional advice or guidance. This channel and its creators are not affiliated with any professional or educational institution. Viewer discretion is advised, and any resemblance to real events or persons is purely coincidental.